So one of the world's most famous salesmen, Zig Ziglar, once said that timid salesmen have skinny kids. And your website is your salesman on the internet. And if you were to look at your website, would you consider that it's doing a good job? I'm Joe from the New Customer Workshop. You can find us at newcustomerworkshop.com, and today we're going to talk about just briefly how timid your website is, and is it doing, is it being the best possible salesman for your business? Like a salesman or salesperson, your site needs to look good. It needs to be able to provide information and be able to answer questions about your business. More importantly, though, your website should be able to actually close a sale. Think about when you walk into a store to buy something. Everyone has probably at some point been asked by a salesperson if he could ring this up for you. This is a call to action. It sends a clear message to you that the salesperson is ready to take this relationship to the next step. You've probably also been in situations where you've experienced a timid salesperson who misses the cues that you're ready to buy. This person might be afraid of rejection, and instead of closing the sale, he continues to talk about all the benefits of the project the product that you're already interested in buying. And I'm sure if you've been in this situation, you probably get really frustrated, and you may have actually walked out of the store. I know I've been in situations like that, and rather than deal with the timid salesperson any longer, I would just stop and buy it online, buy it through Amazon. So anyway, you want your website to be that strong salesperson who isn't afraid to ask the customer for something. You want to have what's called a clear call to action. And a call to action is pretty simple. It's basically an invitation to your customer, to your website visitor, to take a particular action or a set of actions. It's the key to adding value to your website. And if you look at any successful website on the internet, you probably see a lot of examples of good call to action. Listen to some of these and think about if they sound familiar to you. Buy now with one click. Click here for a free quote. Call to make an appointment. Add to cart. Follow us on Twitter. Like us on Facebook. In each of these examples, the reader is told specifically what the business wants them to do. It eliminates the uncertainty. So when a visitor comes to your website, they're coming for a reason. You provide them some information, but at the end, you want to create some form of transaction with them. And if it's not clear to them, if they don't know what to do, they're not just going to hunt around and find it just because they want to help you out. You want to make sure that you're putting it right in front of them. So as you're thinking about this, and thinking about your website, you want to find out what your call to action is. And it's pretty easy to identify. All you need to do is think about why your website exists. And in order for you to think about that, you really need to understand your business. If you run a real estate business, you typically have a long sales process. The website isn't going to close any sales for you. It's probably most likely to use to generate leads. Maybe you have a newsletter or mailing list that you want your potential customers to sign up for, and use that as a method of lead generation. So your call to action is sign up for the newsletter or sign up for the free newsletter. If you're an appointment-driven business like a beauty salon or nail or hair salon, then you want your readers to call and make an appointment with you. That's your call to action. If you're a restaurant, your call to action is likely, if you're a restaurant that takes reservations, it's call to make a reservation. If it's to come into the store, the call to action might just be placing the phone number there and calling them. So then once you've identified what your call to action is, you need to figure out where they should be placed on your website. You want to drive the point home. And the placement is specific to each website, but a rule of thumb is that it should be obvious, looking at the page, what you want your customer to do. So, on the home page of your website, you want to make sure that you have a button or your call to action, really jumps out at you on the page. It's contrasting to the rest of the calls to rest of the content of your web page. Sometimes people ask if they can have more than one call to action, or if it makes sense to have more than one call to action. For example, go back to the nail salon example. The primary call to action might be make an appointment today, but a secondary call to action might be sign up for our newsletter. And you see this on sites like Amazon, where you can either put things into your cart, or you buy something with one click, or you add things to a list. For most small businesses, though, this probably won't help you, and until you really have nailed down converting customers through a single clear call to action, it's probably best to just stick with a single call to action on your site. So there you have it. That's just a sort of a brief little introduction into ways you can improve your website by creating a clear call to action. Remember, make sure your website isn't timid. Put that call to action in front of your customers, and you'll definitely see an improvement in your bottom line. So that's it for today. If you enjoyed this brief little podcast, feel free to visit us at the newcustomerworkshop.com and leave some comments, and we look forward to bringing you some more information in the future.